And it is October 19th, and we are here at UCLA, where it's another beautiful day. Sunshine is really shining today. It's actually warm. Today is Royal Oaks' birthday, October 19th. You didn't know that, did you? November 19th. What did I say, October?
Yeah.
I'm stuck in Halloween, huh? And she stands before you managing attention, making sure that all laptops are closed and phones are away, communicating respect non-verbally, finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name, feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi everyone, my name is Michelle.
Hi Michelle.
So they say beauty is only skin deep. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't take care of how you look. Now this speech isn't going to be about being shallow or anything, but it's about loving your skin. And one way to do that is by protecting it. So today I want to persuade you all to start protecting your skin against the sun, like putting on sunblock. I will provide you with 2 reasons why and offer you actions and benefits that will follow if you adopt my proposal. I'm sure you will all enjoy listening to what I have to say because, like Professor Miller said, we all live in sunny California. We have easy access to beaches and outdoor events, so our sun exposure is probably really high compared to other places. So the first reason why we should protect our skin against the sun is because it will reduce our chances of getting skin cancer. So the American Academy of Dermatology says that skin cancer is the most common cancer in the United States. Within this year, it was estimated that 1 out of every 50 Americans would get melanoma and 9,940 deaths would be due to skin cancer. And this could be easily prevented by wearing sunscreen, not going to tanning salons, and so on. So I feel very strongly about this issue because skin cancer is such a preventable disease. While I don't know anyone personally affected by skin cancer, I do know a lot of people who have died from other forms of cancer and other diseases where you don't really have that much control. So to be able to just prevent skin cancer so easily by just putting on sunblock, why not do it when you to save yourself so much money from treatment or even the risk of dying from it? So the second reason why I want you all to start protecting your skin is because you can reduce premature skin aging like wrinkles and skin discoloration. So Dr. Flamet from France performed a study in 2013 that looked at the effect of UV damage on this visible skin aging in women aged 30 to 78. So each woman was examined by a dermatologist, had their skin examined to see how much damage it had from UV rays, and they also got their age guessed just by their appearance. So the results concluded that 80% of visible skin damage is due to sun exposure, and an increase of just 2% skin damage ages your face by 3 years. So I don't know about you all, but I would love to look young for a really long time. So just being able to put on sunblock and just taking all those necessary steps would be great because then you won't have to see like all that, you won't have to deal with all that damage later on. And we're young, we probably don't even think about it, but it will catch up with us later. And like every day when I look in the mirror, I do see like my flaws, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I have some wrinkles that you all might not be able to see, but I know I have them. So just taking those steps would be like a great thing to do. So now I will give you 3 actions you can all take to start protecting your skin. The first one would be to start wearing sunblock of SPF 30 or more on any skin that is exposed to the sun. And sunblock is so affordable and you can buy it almost anywhere, just like an Ackerman. And applying it only takes a few minutes but has such long-term effects. Second, try to wear sunglasses that provide UVA and UVB protection. These are really easy to come by as well, or you can even get them for free at events because tons of people give out like sunglasses. And like most people don't think about getting skin cancer on their eyes, but it's actually very, very common to get skin cancer on your eyelids just because it's so thin. And third, try to avoid walking under the sun during the peak hours of 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. because that's when the UV rays are strongest and can do the most damage. And if it can't be helped, just try to wear more clothes that cover more skin, walk in the shade, or put on sunblock. And after you guys have performed all these actions, I'm sure you'll have the benefit of knowing that you just reduce your chances of getting skin cancer and increase your chances of looking pretty and young for a longer time. So in summary, I have told you all 2 reasons why you should start protecting your skin, offered you 3 actions you could do to start doing that, and a couple of benefits that you can get from just starting to protect your skin now. So there should be no doubt in this room that you should all start protecting your skin from the sun. In conclusion, yes, they do say beauty is only skin deep, but your skin is a part of you, so love it, take care of it, and be proud of it. Thank you.
Thank you. That was 5:15. Okay, let's start on this side of the room. Hi, Bree.
I thought your speech was really interesting. I don't wear sunblock or sunscreen ever. But I like the statistics that you gave, and I had no idea that you could get skin cancer on your eyelids, so I thought that you gave like really interesting facts.
So some unique information, huh? Yeah, that was good. Improvement.
I'm William.
Hi, William.
And I liked your speech overall, and I liked your hand gestures, but sometimes I felt like your hand gestures felt kind of exaggerated and distracted from what you were saying and the point you were trying to make.
Okay, good. Thank you, William. Well, thank you for being the first one to give their persuasive speech and breaking the ice for us. Appreciate that. Let's talk about your speech. You used the expression that beauty is only skin deep. You tied back to that. Pretty good grabber. Your thesis preview was, to protect yourself from the sun, and you had a good preview. It was good. I like being involved in your speech. Yes, we do live in sunny Southern California, and I was just talking to an alum that came back to visit, and he was saying his parents were retiring from Europe to Southern California because they had come here to visit him in school and fell in love with the place. So I guess a lot of people would like to live here. Anyway, on your first reason, you quoted the Academy of Dermatology, and I guess you made it clear that this was this year or 2015. Was the date clear that you made it clear to your audience it was real recent evidence? You want to do that so that people know that it's clear. And you're saying 1 in 50 Americans, and when you use your statistics, do a little oomph with your voice. 1 in 50 will develop melanoma, and almost 10,000 deaths will be due to skin cancer, right? So I'd like to see you work on some vocal variety and a little bit more push with your voice. Fill the room a little bit more with your energy. I appreciate you being honest and saying that you didn't know anyone that had died of skin cancer, but you knew people that had the other forms of cancer. The debate coach at Point Loma University in San Diego got skin cancer on his arm and had almost half of it had to be cut out. It was a real scary time for him, but they fortunately caught it. On your second reason, you talked about premature aging, and I'll turn this over to the class. You gave some statistics, and you said UV rays contribute 80% of visible aging signs, and every 2% increase in skin damage ages a face by 3 years. Okay, any reaction to those statistics, or what are you learning from your text and the sticky text on how to use statistics? What's the optimal way to use statistics? Can anyone help Michelle a little bit or make some suggestions in that respect? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nava.
Hi, Nava.
So in the sticky book, it said that when you talk about statistics, it's best to like use an analogy, because sometimes it's like really difficult to understand what these numbers mean. But like if you put it in context to something that everyone understands, or it's like common knowledge, then it's much easier to understand what it means that 80% of whatever, I don't even remember what it, like 80% or 2% increase or something. So
an analogy. Anybody else want to offer some sticky text insights about how to use statistics? I'm looking for the C word, but go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm looking for the C.
Oh, so hi, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say that like the sticky text kind of mentions that you want to like highlight the relationship in statistics.
Exactly, the comparison.
Yeah, so you want to compare it to something else, like because we're like, okay, 2% ages you 3 years, but like what does that mean? Like we don't really understand what 2% of UV radiation means.
See? So if you have a comparison of what, give it a comparison, then it's going to be stickier. Okay? I like that you personally said you have wrinkles. You look perfect from here. So, but that was an interesting sort of human moment when you said, I have wrinkles or I'm getting wrinkles, you know. So, that was fine. The actions, I'll say it in an overview, were consistent with your persuasive intent, your proposed actions. There is some confusion in my mind with 30, 50, 80, 100. I see all these numbers on boxes, and so maybe some clearing up or clarification of that might have been in order. I agree with Bree about the eyelids and the sunglasses, and that was useful information. The benefits, I realize that you're running out of time, but everyone should give a little more oomph to the benefits, because that's the real selling point, okay? Summary, conclusion, and tieback were all great. Let's talk a little bit. What did you design into this speech that was unexpected to make it stickier?
Well, I think it's more like the eyelid thing, because I know a lot of people that I talked to have like the eyelid thing. Like
the
a lot
eyelid
of people
thing.
That doesn't know that. And I think just the statistics about just how many people actually do get skin cancer.
So if that was your unexpected thing, then make it more unexpected with your voice. I thought the credibility was pretty good. I thought you could have qualified who Dr. Flament, a study in France, the expert in skincare in the world, Dr. Flament in counts, to boost him up a little, would have given him a little bit more credibility. I thought you were very sincere and credible. I thought the speech was concrete. Perhaps I realize you were really struggling for stories in this one, but that's always a plus. Overall, you did a nice job. Thank you. Yes.
When it doesn't matter.
Oh wait, we didn't talk about your canais either. You can stay back up there. Sorry about that. You wanted to project your voice, stay within the time limit, which you did, and remember the entire speech so you don't stumble. How'd it go?
I think I projected my voice compared to my other two speeches, because I know that was an issue for my last two speeches. And I barely made time. And I think I could have practiced my speech more, because I did kind of forget what I wanted to say in my second reason.
But you were a C, so we can cut you some slack on that. I would say, just as a goal, just in terms of for further life, work, and experiences, don't hold back in projecting your voice and working on voice projection, because I'd say you've gained a lot, but still you have a ways to go in having a commanding voice that really will command people and have them want to follow you. Okay? Thank you.
When should I turn in myself feedback?
You can email it to me or just bring it in and hand it to me. Yeah, either way. Yeah, you just hand it to me. Okay, let's go to Liz.
Not here.
The big zero. Okay, good. Let me mark that. Persuasive. No Liz. 0. Okay, good. Okay, let's go to Con. Stephen Staples. Good man. Okay, let me get you in focus. Okay, wait, the camera's a little crooked today. There we go. Con stands before you, managing the tension, communicating respect, non-verbally saying to himself, I respect my audience. He means it. Finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name. Feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi everyone, I'm Khan.
Hi, Con.
Zig Ziglar, an American author, once said that gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotion. The more you express your gratitude for what you have, the more likely you have even more to express gratitude for. I personally agree with this quote because I believe that giving thanks is one of the key things in life in order to become successful. It is crucial to show your gratitude because it can transform a bad situation into a positive one and a normal day into one filled with many wonderful opportunities. Today, I want to persuade you all to be more thankful in your life. I will give you 2 reasons why I'm going to do this and propose 3 actions plus benefits that will follow if you accept my proposal. This is an important topic for everyone because everybody has someone or something that they are thankful for. Not only that, gratitude can take you to places and offer you many chances in life. So be thankful is definitely something that people should try to do every day. To start off, I want to tell you about my first reason why I want to persuade you all to be more thankful. And it is because you never know what an instant of showing gratitude can give you. Today, I want to share with you my personal story about a time where gratitude gave me the chance to work at CVS. At the early winter quarter of last year, I decided to apply to CVS to become a pharmacist technician. And a week after my interview, I received an email from the CVS manager telling me that they decided to hire another person instead. I was pretty sad, of course, but I still decided to write a follow-up email to show my gratitude to the CVS manager for taking their time to look at my application. To my amazement, 3 months after, I received another email from the same CVS manager telling me that they decided to offer me another chance to take on the job. I found out later on, after I officially got accepted, that the only reason why they decided to offer me another chance is because I was the only one to show my gratitude out of all the ones that did not get accepted. I feel from this experience that people tend to overlook giving thanks, which is one of the most important aspects in life. So if people are able to show more thanks in their life, gratitude can give you more chances than you can ever thanks for. Just like the job I have right now at CBS. The second reason why I want to persuade everybody to be more thankful in their life is because it is proven that showing gratitude can help you improve in many health conditions. The article, 7 scientifically proven benefits of gratitude published on November 23rd of 2014 on Forbes website show us that showing gratitude can improve many physical health conditions like reducing pain and reducing headache. And it's also shown that grateful people tend to be more healthier than normal ones. Additionally, Dr. Robert Emmons, a leading researcher in gratitude, say also in the same article that gratitude can reduce multitude of toxic emotions like frustration, regret, and anxiety. Sound a lot like what most scholars feel most of the time to me. So everyone here should definitely try to be more grateful in their life. From this article, I feel like showing gratitude is probably one of the easiest ways for us to improve our health condition. So everyone here should, instead of taking on weird medication, you should definitely try to be more thankful in your life. Third, I want to show you some concrete action that you could take to be more thankful. One of them, you can do it right here in this class. In addition to always say, I respect you when you do your speech, you can also say, I'm thankful when your audience give you constructive response for your speech. So you can take out much more from that whenever you're receiving advice from people. Another way is to think of one thing that you can always be thankful for every day. Even on days that went really bad for you, like when you receive your midterm score back and you only have average, you can say that I'm thankful that I only got a C, that I did not get a C or a fail. And the last concrete action that you could take to be more thankful is to think of someone that you are really thankful for, and maybe your parent or your close friend. And if possible, you could try to meet them up one-on-one and tell them directly in a concrete way why you are thankful to them. Like you could do it like me when I invite my parents out for dinner and pay for them to show my gratitude to them. After you perform all these actions, you will definitely feel much more optimistic because being thankful is about trying to find a positive thing in any situation. Another benefit that you could get is you could receive gratitude back from the person that you're showing gratitude to. And this sometimes can far exceed what you have given to them. In summary, I'll give you 2 reasons why you should be more thankful in your life, and 3 actions that you could take, and 3 benefits that you could get when you take these kind of actions. There should be no doubt in this room that everyone should try to become more thankful and always show more gratitude. Just like what Zig Ziglar say, gratitude is probably one of the healthiest and beneficial emotions that you could have. So after this speech, I hope everyone can be motivated to give more thanks to people, especially for the upcoming Thanksgiving season. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate. Okay, where are we? Yes, please.
I think I really like your speech, especially the gratitude attitude, because that's the way you can be more happier. And I think the first reason why I like your speech is very concrete, because you remember, like, recite every numbers in the statistics you find. And the second is, I think your speech is very clear, so we can understand your personal story, and we can feel the same emotion you felt. So I think it's very clear.
Good. Thank you, Siri. Yes, please. Hi, Javon.
I like your speech. I thought you did a good job. Maybe just slow down a little bit and enunciate some words you started to talk a little fast.
Okay.
Yeah, you had some time, so I think that this was a great topic. It can't be done enough. You can't show enough gratitude to people. It's been my experience. I think I shared with the class that my father, when I went off to college, gave me a book by Dale Carnegie called How to Win Friends and Influence People, and suggested I read it. And one of the things in the book, it was a very important book in my life, but one of the things in one of the suggestions in the book was be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise. And it then went on to give a series of stories saying that people like to be appreciated. People like to be thanked because people do so much and they rarely get thanked by their boss, by their colleagues, by anybody. And so it's nice when you do get thanked. So I think you chose well on your topic. Now you chose Zig Ziglar, somebody that I've read too, and you gave a quote saying gratitude is the healthiest of all emotions. The more you express your gratitude, the more likely you'll even have more to express gratitude for. And then you said you agreed with the quotation, so that was a good transition. You didn't just give the quotation and then jump to your thesis, so I appreciate that. On your thesis preview, I would have also liked to have had you thrown in and some benefits,
Okay.
not just actions, but also benefits. Your sixth statement was good, and you showed that it will open up doors for people, and that was impressive. Now, on your first reason, you chose to give evidence from your life. And as you see, folks, you don't always have to have evidence from a book or from an expert. You gave us a very compelling story. And I think everyone in this room can learn if because you're all going to be out job seeking. And if you do send, my niece got her job in television by sending not a follow-up email, but a handwritten, no one handwrites things anymore, to the interviewer. And he called her back and they talked, and he told her frankly what some of her deficiencies were. She worked to make it up. She wrote him back. They had a long conversation. The long and the short of the story was, a year and a half later, she got a job in the industry through him. So, this kind of follow-up and good manners and courtesy and being grateful can really pay dividends. And I think your story was a good story. So I think it was a compelling story. And you included you keep moving, your head's going out of the picture. So can you step back just a little? Yeah, that's better. Thank you. Okay. On your second reason, you cited health conditions, so you had some evidence, and there's a lot of evidence about gratitude. There's a book by Norman Cousins called The Anatomy of an Illness, in which he was diagnosed with cancer, and he laughed it away and talked about gratitude. There's a whole segment down in South Campus that deals with the relationship between laughter and emotions and optimal health. And so, they're really finding that this is a very important dimension of that. So I think that your evidence was a good balance between a personal story and some evidence. And I know a lot of people think, how can I ever find evidence about being grateful? But it is out there, and you found it, so that was good. On your actions, it would have been more effective in my judgment to number them. I'm going to give you 3 actions. 1, 2, 3. So it has, kind of a logical format to follow. The benefits that people will get was effective. Summary, conclusion, and tie back were all fine. Now, what was unexpected in your speech that you designed in there to make your stickiness apparent or make your speech stickier?
I think I try to have the audience relate to my speech a lot. Like you mentioned about job searching, and then I also mentioned the toxic emotion that college students usually feel. That so I could relate to the audience. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was trying to relate to the audience more so that they could
relate to the audience more. Persuasion. Okay. Do continue to always think after you've written your speech, can I do something more? Can I put something unexpected in here? Yeah. A slightly different fact, a slightly different introduction. Do I need an unexpected change in grammar or tense in a place, in a change in voice? Something unexpected that will grab my audience at a moment and redraw their attention in. Yeah. I thought your credibility and the credibility of your authors were well argued, so I think that was effective. I think your message was simple, so I think you had your idea down to its simplicity, and the stories were good. As far as your goals, though, your first canai was to speak slower, 2, make more eye contact, and 3, be more confident. How'd it go?
I think because when I practiced at home, I was always around 5:15, 5:20. Yeah. So I thought that pace would be good for this speech, but I don't know why I go faster this time. So I would definitely be try to speak slower in my future speech after this class. And for my eye contact, I definitely did a lot of eye contact this time around, especially how I did the last time, like from this side to that side and to the other side.
Good.
And then be more confident is my overall theme, I think, in my speech. And that's why I decided to take this class in general. So
Right.
I think I improve a lot. I'm not perfect yet, but I can definitely see the improvement.
No, I think you've improved a lot, really. And on the speaking slower issue, the solution is to do some hardcore editing, have some benchmarks of where you sort of think you want to be at certain points in your speech so that you can slow it down rather than trying to cram so much in. Just, go to that simplicity principle that Heath and Heath are talking about and just keep to your course and simple idea and communicate it. But you did a nice job today, Con. Thank you. Okay, that'll bring us to Lisa.
She's not here.
Another 0. Oh well. Alexia. Another 0. Okay, good. Karen. Praise the Lord. You should get double points for showing up, huh? Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Let me get. Oh, you wore white today. Thank you. Go that way a little bit. Yeah. Okay, Karen stands before you in the power stance nicely. He's reading, communicating respect non-verbally, finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name, feel the love, start your speech.
Hi, I'm Karen.
Hi, Karen.
There's a saying that goes, no matter how busy someone is, if they love you and if they care, they'll find a way to make time for you. Even the smallest text message or the quickest phone call can say 1,000 words. Today, I want to persuade you all to appreciate the people in your lives by making time for them. I'll offer you 2 reasons and actions and benefits that'll follow if you adopt my proposal. We are all college students, and I'm sure we're all very busy, and it's so hard to keep people in our lives while still making time for ourselves. But I think it's important to still keep in contact with people because according to Everyday Health, a study conducted in 2009 stated that maintaining healthy relationships actually helps make aging more enjoyable, it lessens grief, and it helps you reach your goals knowing that you have companionship. So the first reason why we should make time for people is because it will show that you appreciate them, and my support for this is my personal experience. I feel so strongly about this because when I started college, I became so distant from my mom. I do go home often on the weekends, but I rarely see her because I'm so focused on doing my own things or running errands. And she expressed her neglect when she told me that I only use the house as the hotel. And so I guess hearing her reach out to me was very shocking because growing up, she wasn't very affectionate. She didn't like expressing how she felt. So to hear her say that she wanted me to spend more time with her made me realize how distant or absent I've been away from home. And so the second reason why I think we all should make time for people in our lives is because it is good for our mental health. According to a study conducted in 2013 by the Association for University and College Counseling Center Directors stated that 36.4% of college students felt some type of depression, and that's crazy. And this is preventable because Riley's Connection, a children's hospital, said in 2009 that just taking the time to spend it with the loved one can make these stress levels more manageable. And I feel this way about this idea is because when I'm depressed, I tend to put in my earphones and listen to sad or violent music, shout out to Kendrick Lamar and Linkin Park. But the point is, wallowing in my own self-pity doesn't make me feel any better. But if I take the time, to hang out with a friend or go out with my mom when I'm stressed, and I feel so content knowing that I'm distracting myself from whatever's eating at my happiness, and I'm surrounding myself with people who care. And so now I want to offer you some actions you might take to make time for people you care about. The first being is to just take the time to reach out to them. It could be a simple phone call or like a 5-second Snapchat. Just the fact that you reached out shows them that you care. The second being to set a date. Whenever we run into an old friend, we say, we should hang out sometime without ever actually meaning it. Next time, we should set a date and don't say it just to be polite. The third action you could take is to squeeze in time for someone in your day. I know our schedules look horrendous, but it's never impossible to go out to grab coffee or even lunch. So after performing these actions, it'll be beneficial to you all because you'll feel on top of the world. You'll feel so good knowing that you're maintaining relationships with people you care about, and at the same time, you're able to focus on yourselves. And knowing that you have support is so crucial to your mental well-being. And because you're making the effort to reach out to people, you'll have more friends in your lives. So in summary, I have shown you 2 reasons why you should make time for people you care about, and I have offered you concrete actions and benefits that will follow if you do so. There should be no doubt in this room that we should all appreciate those we care about by making time for them. Now I want you all to forget about how busy you've been, especially since finals week is approaching, and take the time today to make a phone call. Send a 5-second Snapchat to show that you care, because a small gesture can show that you really appreciate having that person in your life, and a small gesture, no matter how small, can say 1,000 words. Thank you.
Thank you. 420.
Hi, I'm Michelle.
Hi,
I
Michelle.
really like your speech. I like that you're super confident in it, and I like how, like, for both reasons, you provided both statistics and a personal story, which really helps you kind of persuade us.
Balance. Okay, improvement. Where should we go? Here, I guess. Yeah, why not? Hi, Amy.
I really liked your speech. There's not much that I would correct about it. The only thing was that you were talking pretty quickly, and so just if you try and slow down, it'll help the ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, you had almost 45 seconds to go, so we could go faster, go slower, speak louder, speak softer, work on that emphatic style of delivery that I so like. Well, you started your intro with, no matter how busy someone is, if they love you and care, they will find a way to make time for you. Even the smallest can say 1,000 words. So you ask, a sort of a rhetorical question. When was the last time you spoke with your mom or your dad or somebody you loved? And so that was sort of a fair way to involve people. I'm not sure it was a super grabber, but I guess, if it is something that people think about, because we do all live busy lives, so it wasn't too bad. On your thesis preview, it was fine. You stated your message clearly and simply. I thought your significant statement was good. I like the way you put evidence in your significant statement. And this is just a quibble. It's best if you can find real recent evidence, but sometimes it's hard on these kinds of touchy-feely topics to find real recent quotes. But yeah, it was good to put a piece of evidence there. Not everyone does that, but it can really often bolster. You'll notice in the model I showed that the girl had her suicide statistics in her significant statement. On the main body, you started with your personal experience, and you told us about the fact that you have left home and you don't see your mother, you hardly go home, and she finally said to you, "You use my home as a hotel," I think was her line, right? "My house is a hotel." Nice alliteration. And that was sort of a wake-up call for you to read the subtext of her complaint, which was, geez, you're not being very appreciative. You don't really show your love. You don't spend time here anymore. And, you know, I don't know if she has an empty nest or other children or what, but I know that she expressed that to you. Now, what I wish you had done a little bit more of was expressed your emotional reactions and feelings about how you felt at that moment when your mother said that to you, before you went on to talk to others about how we don't. Instead of going to the we, keep it in the first person and said, "It made me realize I don't express my gratitude and thanks enough to my mother and to other people around me that are helping me in my life," right? I think that would have made it a little bit more effective. On your second reason, here you have your statistics. So let's see if you followed the rules of stickiness and did some comparisons, or they were as effective as they could have been. You told us that in 2013, and you spit out, and it was recent evidence, and you spit out the Association of University of College Counseling Center Directors, so that made it pretty credible, you know, so that was good. You gave it some credibility. And you said 36% of college students felt some kind of depression. And then you sort of went on to say, you know, that's bad, that's ridiculous. And then you went on to quote the Children's Hospital after that. Now, can anyone suggest a more effective way or something she could have done differently to use that 36%? To make it stickier, or to make it more impressive?
I'm Peyton.
We have a loud chair. Hi, Peyton.
Well, she could have compared 36% maybe to like take the number of people in this classroom or something, and then say like whatever they're like, take 36% of the people in this class and just say like that's the same as if this number of people
Right.
like blah 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 blah. So you just kind of have something to gauge the number with.
Right. I mean, that means 9 of you or 8 of you or something in here are depressed, you know, or something, a comparison. And you did feel this way. You told us how you felt, and you told us that you listened to violent music like Linkin Park, and that isn't very satisfying, and that now you've evolved into not just becoming a monostatic being with violent music, but you are now reaching out to people to deal with your depression. I thought that was pretty good and pretty self-disclosing. I thought that made it pretty sticky at that time. Your concrete actions, everyone got a titter out of a 5-second snapshot, but I guess, you know, that's the way of the world these days. I like the specificity of actually setting a date, and then the other one was 2 and 3 are very similar to each other. The benefits were well argued, I guess. And then your summary, conclusion, and tie back were all fine. Your canais were to not pace, be less nervous, and make it within the time limit. Yes, because you went way over last time. So this time you went way under. So that was good. So how'd it go?
I was still very nervous. And I noticed when I practiced the speech, I actually went over 5 minutes, so I might have talked like too fast this time because I made it under 5 minutes. Yeah.
Right. Right, and you could have slowed down. That's true. You didn't pace. You had an interesting sort of way of walking, but you got back to the center in the end finally, and so it was fine. It was no big deal. I'll ask the question I've been asking everyone else. What did you design into this speech that was unexpected?
Maybe like my personal experience, because I noticed in my past speeches when I shared something, it wasn't really personal. It was more kind of like common sense or things that happen every day.
Right.
And I guess maybe explaining how my relationship with my mom is like, or something super personal. It's kind of unexpected because no one really knows what you're going through.
Okay, that's pretty good. My point in hammering on this unexpected and hammering on the 6 points of stickiness is the idea that, you know, I want everyone to think after their speech is written to do a checklist and go down and say, is this idea simple enough? Have I stated it simply enough? And I think you could have maybe been a little less wordy and made it clear what your idea was, but I think it was pretty simple. But the unexpected, I think, was what we needed to look for every time and have a grabber in there, either in the intro or somewhere in the middle, either with our voice or something we do or something we say. And here you think talking about your rotten relationship with your mother was unexpected for you. So that was good. Stories and more stories, there can't be enough. And the credibility you built up on your two sources. Your own credibility was pretty good. And this was concrete, it wasn't abstract. So I think it was fairly sticky. So you did a nice job today, Karen. Thank you. Okay, that will bring us to Zoe. No, another 0. Okay. Any other C's? Right, they're gonna have to take a 0 or come some other time because we're not gonna go into finals week so they can make up their speeches. Anybody want to do their speech today? Okay, well our work is done, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.